What's big and purple and lives in the sea? It's Moby Grape. This is a live album from 1977. And yes, we are going to talk about ends here eventually. This is the end video. This one was recorded in San Francisco with most of the gang: Jerry Miller, Peter Lewis, Skip Spence. A lot of guys here. Just a fun little comeback album. Live album. A mistake I made in the last video. I said that Revolver came out in 1965. Had it come out in 65, the Beatles would have been regarded as true geniuses. Well, they are true geniuses, but you can double that exponentially, I suppose. For Einstein, I explained all that one time. Anyway, this album came out in 66, not 65. A book was recently published, I noticed, about 1966 being the year that changed everything. Certainly true. This is another one. I also identified, she said, I know what it's like to be. This is also very psychedelic song, I think. So 1966, not 65. Okay, now ready for the ends. Now, unfortunately, I got to say one more M thing. You may have heard Mussorgsky's Pictures of Pictures in an Exhibition. And this is similar to that because this is a Psych called the National Gallery, where just like Mussorgsky, they take each part of their composition and describe an individual painting. In this case, by the German artist Paul Klee. Paul Klee, wonderful artist, kind of in the surrealist school, but also on his own, and just great stuff. Inside, there's a lyric sheet that shows you more Paul Klee illustrations. So it shows you the illustration of the song they wrote about. So wonderful effort here. And believe it or not, Chuck Mangione is on here. We give this thing 3 stars, 1968, artsy pop psych, with some fuzz guitar. Some 1, 2, 3, 4, about it says early Chuck Mangione involvement, but the horns are discreet. They're not over blasting your face like Blood, Sweat, and Tears. They're very subtle, very apropos. The Beatles used horns, so check it out. Good stuff. Nice, kind of baroque, psyche. Next one is a band from Philadelphia, and you know this band. You know the guy who one of the stars in it. That would be Todd Rundgren, of course, in the Nazz. Now, the Nazz is a name referring to Jesus of Nazareth, and just a really great Psych album. Whew, man. They had 3 albums, the Nazz did. The third album is okay, but certainly the second and this one are very good. 3 stars, Psych, on the SGC label. Don't leave home without it. Next, we have the second Nazz album, also great. Todd again. And then SGC, I don't know what else is on SGC, nothing I'm aware of. But the wonderful thing about this one, in addition to the music, which is superb, Under the Ice, almost 6 minutes, Under the Ice. Wonderful stuff is it's on red vinyl. There's only a couple sites that I have that are on red vinyl. I suppose there's more out there, but not like today, record store day, where like everything's on colored vinyl. It was pretty unusual in the 60s. Still plays great. What can you get after you've heard Nazz? Nazz. Next is one of my favorite Psychs. Another top 10 record. I guess we're in 11 now. Number 11 or something. And that is on Acta, The Neighborhood Children. That is looks like Lombard Street in San Francisco. There's that crooked crooked sign there up the top. And what wonderful West Coast Psych this is. Sort of like the Jefferson Airplane, but nobody's like these guys. They're unique. Neighborhood Children, 1968. 4-star classic rock. Yeah, classic psych rock, not Reich. Classic psych rock. First song, Up Down, 5-star classic psych. The next one, classic weird psych. Next one, great guitar psych on Feeling. Next, dopey, nice guitar in the middle. Then the fifth song, nice punky psych. Changes. Folk rock, the next one. Weakest cut on the album. It's called Please. Then we get into Chocolate. Uh, 5-star weird psych freakout. Chocolate. Chocolate what? Chocolate Angel. The Chocolate Angel. I abbreviated my notes here when I was editing this stuff. Happy as a circus music clown psych. Patterns, nice dreamy guitar psych. 4-star Eastern psych with great words and classical organ on Happy. And then She's got no identification. She's got no. This is 5-star great pop psych. These guys, they had all their chops down. Everything was humming and just rolling along here. Finally, they end up with moody folk rock with great words on Hobbits. This is an essential album. If you got to take a mule train, you get those mules. You say, go, mule, go. You got to get me some neighborhood children. Children. It's essential. This next one is a British band that recorded for the German label Bellophone. They came a little bit later in the game, like the 70s, but no one would doubt what this was. Psychedelia. Of course, they start with the eyeball cover. That lets everybody know, hey guys, this stuff is going to be wild. Now, the early albums are just all pure psychedelia. Um, Not the best. I know Rolling Stone kind of looks thumb their nose at these guys a little bit. They gave them 2 stars for most of their albums. Oh, and let me take a little sideline here to mention a couple of things I should mention. Um, One is the fact one of my reference materials is a Rolling Stone record guide, well used, from 1978, from which I'm talking about Nektar. And the other is something I got on the internet back in the 90s. I don't know where it came from. It was a lot of material. Somebody had compiled a list here. It was called a Psych list. And I'd give you credit if I knew who you were. I don't, unfortunately. I didn't print that page. It's all gone in the digital nightmare world of whatever here. Whoever you are, thank you for compiling this list. And I did add some stuff to it and print it out. And I don't have it digitally anymore. So whoever you are, thank you. But let's get back to Nektar. Nektar. Well, what could be more psychedelic than a tab in the ocean? A tab in the ocean. You know, traditionally, if you use the word tab in psychedelia, it was referring to a LSD. Little tab. It's like a one-hit wonder. this is this is lovely, isn't it? Nektar, a tab in the ocean. Again, very kind of Grateful Deadish, very psychedelic. These guys were out there. It was 5 guys. Freak out. Sort of like Hawkwind, Rolling Stone said. And only more melodic. Sort of like Hawkwind and Grateful Dead, only more melodic. Oh, that sounds horrible. Oh, I don't want that. This sounds fabulous. Are you kidding me? This is good stuff. And we're very blessed in the fact that Nektar had a number of albums. And they're all in that same vein, all noodling, all way out there. We've got Down to Earth. Here, they're getting down to earth here for us. They've landed. Nektar has landed. Oh, good. I feel so good about this. Here's another one. I've never even played all of these, but they're good. Um, if you love Hawkwind, which is another 70s psychedelic band, who could have think there could have been 70s psychedelic bands? There were. Hawkwind, Nektar, a number of them that were into that trance stuff. Remember, I'll open it up for you. Remember the future. That is a light show, my friends. Wow. Like the Grateful Dead, they never left the 60s. This is my favorite Nektar album. And this album, the pop takes over. Less psychedelia, but it's so wonderful. It reminds me of an album, early on by Yes. Recycle. What a great cover, isn't it? Some kind of an Indian deity or something. I don't know what the heck it is. Nice art stuff here. Inside's pretty bland when you look at what was going on out there. And I have a German copy of this album. It has slightly different art. It's all really cool stuff. Just now you look at this cover and you think, man, that's got to be avant-garde. That's got to be just a disturbed minor key, mysterious. No, this is pop, but it's also pop with progressive and psych. It's just a wonderful 5-star album, Nektar Recycle. Next, we get into a band. This is from 1973, and they're from Georgia. And you talk about garage. Holy deloli. This is the garage to the max. And this does not deserve a holy deloli. This is pretty lo-fi stuff. It's neutral spirits. And you can see what their lubricant was here in the back. I'd open this up, and this is a sealed copy. This is one I found like in a junk store somewhere, and you get it home and play it, and it's got maybe like 3 good songs on it. The guys sound like they're playing on rubber bands again. But there's some good fuzz on here. It's just, they don't know what they're doing. It's like, a 12-year-old just picked up a guitar. But they've got the attitude. It's a kind of a downer album. It's kind of sad. Musically, it's trying to be psyche. It's trying to be a kind of early 70s grunge. Not the best. I can't recommend it unless you find it original. Then you're gonna go, wow. But, reissue. Everybody needs a new mix now and then. And you know these guys. You do? There's got to be Psych, right? It is. It is Psych. But it's a mix. It's a nice, dreamy Psych like Bubble Puppy or Gypsy. We love that hot smoking sassafras. What do we got? 5-star, hard, wild Psych. Lots of fuzz guitar on wild. Dreamy with flute with a Doors organ. Thank you, Ray Manzarek. He didn't play that one, but it sounds like Ray Manzarek. Dreamy, moody on Man. Okay, pop. Oh, new harpoon. Looks like new harpoon. Great fuzz guitar like Bubble Puppy Psych. Bubble Puppy is killer Psych. That soft vocals with the hard guitar. That's it, man. That's what we love. A lot of good stuff here. Side 2 kind of falls apart. Still has some great pop Psych. Got it. No horns, no strings, no good time stuff, no jug band. Singing is a little off key in places, but this is still solid Psych. 3 stars. Got just enough cuts on there to keep it out of the garbage bin. And who doesn't love dumpster diving? Years ago, a local record store died, and I jumped in their dumpster, poured a bunch of stuff. Woo! I do not recommend dumpster diving. Okay, this next one. from Chicago, we have for you a monster from that pivotal year, 1966, the New Colony 6, doing their best impersonation of Paul Revere and the Raiders on the cover here. They're not blue. These are the red guys. New Colony 6, killer punk. Is it Psych? It's before Psych. But it's just so amazing. How could I not talk about this? Their next album does go into Psych territory. Monster, classic punk. So step over, monks, Black Monk time. We got the New Colony 6 kicking for us now. Wonderful stuff. At the River's Edge. Whew, man. It's great stuff. There's some covers on here. Sloopy, Mr. You're a Better Man Than I. But this is a 4 9/10 album of punk. It's like the Shadows of Night, of the first Them album. All that great snarly punk. But still a little poppy. Just enough poppy. Now this next album, same band. On this one, we're getting into more Psych territory. New Colony 6. Their next album here, this was from 1967. Now, you're going to see a lot of New Colony 6 albums after these two. Don't get them. They are pop. They're horrible. They're not even good pop. But this one, first it was Centaur with a C, now Centaur with an S. It is on that weird Chicago. This was a subsidiary of Cameo Parkway that gave us Chubby Checkers and Dee Dee Sharp and all that stuff. New Colony 6, 4 stars. British invasion type solid mid-60s rock. It's getting into that Psych edge a little bit here. Minor key on I'm Just Waiting. Pop rock like the Yardbirds on Woman, like the Birds on Power of Love. Classic punk Psych on Mr. You're a Better Man Than I. Good hit. Love You Much, like the Yardbirds. Pop rock, great pop rock. Funny. Just great stuff. Great stuff. You're going to love it. But don't get any of their albums after these two. They're just no good. I'm sorry. Now here we go finally. Panama Red by the New Riders of the Purple Page. They used to play with Grateful Dead all day. This is the cartoon here. Talk about your woman's up in bed with old Panama Red. Just a fun West Coast psyche. This and Power Glide are the two New Riders albums. They had a lot of albums. Most of them are kind of country rock, which is that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But not as good as those two. Okay, next we're getting into a British band who again had a heavy classical music background. Keith Emerson, of course, and that would be one of my favorite bands of the 60s, The Nice. This says, Ars longa vita. I know this means life is short. Art lasts a long time, but life is short. Ain't that the truth, brother? That's why I made these recordings. Not that they're art, but life is short. What do we got in here? Mostly America by, who's that guy? Aaron Copland. No, I'm sorry. It's by, Aaron Copland. It's by Leonard Bernstein from West Side Story. And Keith Emerson, Oregon Workout. Fabulous stuff. So, let's see. Little Arabella, kind of fun poppy psych. Intermezzo from Corelli's Seat. At least these guys give credit here. And then side 2 is just a one long movement here, including some Bach here. Who wouldn't want to have a little Bach? It's good stuff. The Nice went on to record several albums later on in the 70s. Emerson left, joined with Emerson, Lake and Palmer's, which is progressive. We won't be talking about them. This is my favorite Nice album. This has great pop sensibility. Is it Psych? Yeah, I think it's like late night psyche stuff. Again, you got Rondo 69, So it's Dave Brubeck here. So incorporating jazz. She Belongs to Me, Bob Dylan. Azrael Revisited. How Can You Hang On to a Dream? They get real poppy on this one. This is a lovely late night psychedelic, I would say so. A heavy organ workout, but the guitar's still there, and just a great album. Wonderful stuff. Five Bridges is a concept album that Nice did, and it's like in 5 suites. So here we're into heavy progressive. Not much psych there, but it was regarded as a classic then and now. All right, I gotta zoop through these. We're running out of time here. Here's a guy from Detroit who's really kind of nuts. This is a 77 here. Nicodemus. Uh, this is the Orange album. I don't know what the heck this is. This is pretty bizarre stuff. This is kind of a, I don't know how you describe this exactly. Um, This guy's out there, like Debris. Remember I talked about Debris Stack Disposal? Same kind of stuff. Just kind of psych related. It's kind of like jungle wildness. Hard to define. Hard to define. Well, I'm running a lot of time here. I think I'm going to have an end part two here. There's just too much stuff. Nicodemus is in this Backstreet Orange album. That's going to be the end for now. It's zaniness. It's crazy. It may not be for you, but if you like those Real People albums, that would be a good one. That's it for end part one. We're going to have a part two. I'll see you later. Oh, come here, Rusty. I'm going to put my dog on the video here. Come on, get over here. You This guy has been, he wants something from me. Rusty, what's going on? I got to take care of Rusty. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.